What's going on, guys? This is TM25MD, and I have another Duelyst live for you guys today. Couple housekeeping things before we start. First, happy Thursday. Tomorrow I will be featuring viewer-submitted decks, which will be in the description. The link is in the description, so you can submit your decks there. Just put a little imager, your budgetary constraints, and what would you like to keep in your deck, and pretty much what's like the few cards that you want to me to feature, I guess. So that will be in the description. That will be tomorrow's episode. Just a little bit of fun. It is the 2nd of November, I believe. Yep, it is the 2nd of November. So still grinding through the ladder, trying to get to S rank as quickly as possible. I am Diamond 4 already. I don't know if there are many other people that are already in Diamond. I only know like Freud and Terrarius. I think those are the other people that I've seen in Diamond. So the Diamond ladder is pretty low. I don't think anybody's in S rank at the moment. So yeah. But anyways, we'll be playing some Maehv, a Variax Maehv. I always like the idea of playing a Variax. I always thought it was this great win condition. But comparing Variax Maev's awesome Bloodborne spell to the awesome Bloodborne spells of Bloodbound spells of Lilith and ooh, thought we were gonna lag out there. Comparing it to Lilith and Cassava's, Maev's is hers awesome Bloodbound spell requires a minion to be on board, whereas it's a lot more conditional than Lilith's and Cass's. Lilith's, you just spawn 2 5/5s whenever your Bloodbound spell is up. Cassava's is pretty much, it is conditional in the sense that you have to have creep tiles in order to get fiends. But it is a lot, since you are playing Cass, you'll be getting a lot of creep tiles, or at least 3, 4, 5 at least creep tiles before you get Variax out. So it's a lot easier. Let's say your opponent's just been beating you down, and they're able to remove Variax, but you aren't able to play a BBS, so you have to play it on an empty board. You'd have to use it on things like Desolator, or something resilient, or like Nasher. You'll get 3 that way, and I doubt your opponent can deal with 3 4/4s. 4 health is pretty resilient. So we are playing a control list. That's usually what you kind of have to do. In order to play Variax, you have to play like a control game. So I decided to do just that. 2 Darthfire sack instead of 3, because I would like to preserve a little bit of hand size. This list is running a little bit of draw. You know, there is Sphere of Darkness and there are Sojourners, but that's pretty much it. I guess Desolator is a little bit of draw, but that's more for hand size. So yeah. Starting off, we are playing Maehv, so we want a little bit of healing. So we're running both Healing Mystic and Azure Herald. That's why I like to run in Maehv, keep ourselves relatively healthy. Though it is worth noting, once we do get Variax out, we no longer take damage from our Bloodbound spell, which is pretty nice. 2 Prophet of the Right Hand. I'm not a big fan. I've seen people run 3. I'm not a big fan of 3. I think it is nice in the Shaddai matchups and Fae matchups, just taking minimal damage from the Bloodborne spell, or any sort of spells from Shaddai. For Fae, you're immune to Chromatic Cold, you're immune to Warbird, which is nice. So I guess you can up this to 3 and make Cryptographer 2, but I feel like in the other matchups this isn't the Magmar matchup. I mean, I guess it can be nice against Starhorn, but against Ragnara, Voth, Linar, I mean, I guess this can see more use because it is decent against Holy Immolation, but I've been seeing a lot of, outside of Tempo, I've been seeing a lot of Titan lists, so not too helpful in the Titan matchup, to be quite honest. But yeah, this could be increased to 3 depending on what you're seeing on ladder. But for me right now, I think I only need 2. Yeah, it's nice I can protect myself for 2 damage. With Maev's Bloodborne spell, I had to develop a 4/4. But I feel like having a more resilient minion is better. Though with this, it does survive Mana Death Grip, which is kind of a pro. I guess if you can't use Malice on this on the turn you play it. But I don't know. Maybe you should. Maybe people are right in running 3. I don't know. For me right now, I'm skeptical. If I see the need for running 1 more copy, then I'll definitely make that change and cut the Cryptographer. But I feel like Cryptographer is nice with Maev's Bloodborne spell, or Cryptographer is generally nice for Variax in general. Getting multiple awesome minions is always good, especially on like 8-9 mana. You can get a couple of them out, right? All right, so Desolator, Healing, Sojourner, Cardjar. Okay, Nasher for some removal, and developing a 4/4, not bad. Sunsteel Defender. I want something resilient. Control matchups. Control decks usually want some sort of. They want resilient minions. So what could be better than a Sunsteel Defender? This thing cannot be ping punished. It has to be hit in order for Frostburn to be used. Chromatic Cold and Aspect of the Simsar and Blood of Air, I think, are the only like direct hard counters to it. Aspect of the Ravager as well. Phoenix Fire, you have to like attach to it or punch it in order to get rid of it. So that's why I like Sunsteel Defender. I think it is a fantastic card. So I'm running it in this list. 2 Sunset Paragons. This could easily be Necrotic Sphere. But I felt that we are playing Maehv and we are playing Variax, so we want minions. So notice that we have 31 minions. We want a predominantly high count of minions. But we also want removal because this is a control list. And what could be better than running Sunset Paragon? You can eliminate EMPs, you can eliminate Almira Healers, you can eliminate Spectral Revenants, etc. So that's why I'm running 2 copies of Paragon. If I feel like I need more removal, I can up this to 3. Again, cutting something else, like a Cryptographer. Cryptographer is probably the most expendable card in this list, to be honest. You can easily do without it. 2 EMPs for some Dispel, and it's even if we don't get it, it doesn't affect our minions, right? So unlike unlike Lilith, if you dispel their the Wraithling, it'll just become a 1/1. Whereas the Husks, they're a unique unit with their stats set at 4/4, so dispelling them does not matter. So yeah, I think this is a fantastic card. This is really good against walls. This is really good against Shaddai in combination with, like, on 8 mana, you can play like EMP into Prophet. And it's pretty much Shaddai has to draw an Onyx Bear Seal or they pretty much lose. So that's why I have EMP in here. Spectral Revenant, no explanation here. Got 7 drop in the game. 2 copies of Grandmaster Variax. I'm not a big fan of 3 copies because it'll just show up in your hand too often. And given our limited amount of draw, I don't feel like I need 3 copies. I've never been a fan of 3 copies of Variax in any of my Variax lists that I've made before. So yeah, let's go hop on the ladder. We are Diamond 4. So it might take a little bit of a while to find people because I don't think there's that many people in Diamond. Since it is the beginning of the season, I think most people are just experimenting and memeing in Silver and Gold. But we'll see. We'll see if we can find some good games. Again, Cryptographer is the most expendable thing, the most expendable card in the list. You can easily add in another Variax, the Prophet of the White Hand, another Sunset Paragon, etc. Maybe even another Sojourner. 3 Sojourners can be nice. So yeah. It's also worth noting that we are running 11 turn 1 plays, given that we only are running 2 3-drops. So yeah. You can also say that Darkfire Sacrifice is also a card that is expendable. If we had more draw, then I could up the count to 3. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough to find draw for Abyssian nowadays. Yeah, it'd be nice to pull a Rite of the Undervault in this list, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I feel like a Sojourner with its resilient body can do the job just nicely. I'm not a big fan of Spelljammer in this list. Don't really want to feed my opponent cards. So Abyss's draw is rather limited compared to other factions. Songhai has Heaven's Eclipse, which is decent card draw. So we're playing Queen Fei, spelled Fei wrong. Maybe that's on purpose. But we're playing Fei, but we do have the text for this matchup. Should it be Wall? Get rid of Revenant and Desolator. It's interesting that we don't have a turn 1 play. We have 11 in the deck. Okay, we have a Cartographer, that's pretty nice. And a Nasher. These are all decent cards to have. I don't see the need for Demonic Lore if it is Walls. I like to assume this deck is Walls. If it is Walls, there's no need for Demonic Lore, so I am going to replace it for now. We do draw a Sunsteel Defender, which is pretty nice. So I will just move up, play the Cartographer, call that turn. We draw a Sojourner, so if we cannot play like Nasher, BBS, we could easily just do BBS plus Sojourner. That's a fine play. So cards that we're looking for in this matchup are EMP and Prophet. Prophet, not so much. It will save us a few ticks of damage, but if we can get Variax up, we won't have to worry about hitting ourselves a whole lot. Getting a lot of big minions in front of Fei before she can Frostburn is pretty important. So maybe playing Sojourner and Malice is the correct play here. What is that? Grabwell? Okay. That's what I thought. That's fine. I don't think he took the tile. So if he has double mana Death Grip, that'll be kind of sad. Chromatic Cold's it. I'm fine with that. I'd take that any day of the week, and I'll tell you why. That's one less Chromatic Cold for Desolator. So I'm happy to make that play, to be honest. I think, I mean, yeah, sure, I can get, Nasher can be nice, actually, to clear some walls out. So I will play, I like all these cards. Maybe Sunsteel is something I don't need at the moment. Maybe Desolator isn't something I don't need at the moment. Darkfire Sackman. I think I'll just play the Sojourner right here. Hit this, call that a turn. We got Variax, so that's pretty nice on 6 mana. Or we can play something on 5 mana and Darkfire Sack next turn, play Variax. So if that's the line of play we'll be going for, then Mech. The next speed that one coming. He foxed that. So he's not playing Thunderhorn. Oh, he foxed. He foxed the wall. That's interesting. Alright, Can't Nasher Malice just yet, unfortunately. Get one of the Sunsteels. Playing 2 I don't think is going to be happening. There's the EMP, that's what I like to see. Should you just want to play like a Mechazor in the corner? He's also down to 3 cards, so not the worst thing in the world here. So I will play the Sunsteel Defender right here. Maybe I should have played this first and then replaced, but oh well. Place Sphere of Darkness there, call that a turn, I think. We get another one, that's fine. Could be taking a lot of damage. We're potentially taking 7 or 9 if his general decides to hit. But we do have healing the deck, so. Chromatic Gold. Alright, yeah, that's his second Chromatic Gold. That's fine. That means he doesn't have much of an answer for, so if he decides to punch it, that's okay. We can do Nasher plus BBS. And that should clear whatever he decides to play. So, Warbird. That's fine. Fine by me. Yep, let's do that. Question is, do I want to Darkfire sack this? I want to say no. Yep, let's just call that a turn. Prophet's nice. I like that. I like that Prophet. That can save us some damage. You just want to run away and do fake things. He's used 1 Fox and 2 Chromatic Bolts. Frigid Corona, that's okay. I'll be Darkfire sacking it. So not to worry too much about that. Mech, that's okay. That's only 2 mechs for him, I think. Yeah. I think I'll just Darkfire sack now. Demonic Lore isn't particularly helpful here. Now I'll just play a Grandmaster Variax right here. Right in his face. We can EMP next turn as well, so we can get some big threats. His mech progression is rather slow, which is okay, I guess. Got this big thing in front of him, so he would have to trade and use Frostburn in order to get rid of it. Or a third Chromatic Cold, Mana Death Grip, but usually you don't run Mana Death Grip in Mech Fae. It's a rather slow play. Usually you curve out pretty okay, and usually you can run Seraphim at the top end, but it's not usually the worst thing in the world. Gravwell, that's okay. We can EMP that, no problem. Warbird. Okay. And then the Sword of Mechazor. And the Warbird. What else do you have? Alright, so he's top decking now, which is okay. I don't think we need to draw, so I'll throw this away actually. With 1 card, I don't see him beating me. Not with 1 card. And plus we have Desolator spam as well. On 8 mana, I don't have to use my Malice. My awesome Malice, I can just play double Desolator and I should be okay to win. Spirit of the Wild won't do it either. Yeah, he has to trade. He has to trade in order to win. Sojourner. That's okay. That still won't do him any good. Because at this point, I can just beat him with double Desolator, right? and as we know, he's already used 2 Chromatic Colds with only 1 card in hand. Even if he happens to draw his 3rd Chromatic Cold and 2nd aspect of the Ravager, that still won't win him the game. I don't think. It will save him, but I don't think it will win him the game. Especially since he had to hit this, which means I'm guaranteed another Desolator. Yeah. Whoa! Not bad, huh? Not a bad game. He was very slow on his mech progression, I'll have to say, but and he was very reckless with those Chromatic Colds. Like the Chromatic Cold on my Cryptographer turn 1 was a bit excessive, so I would have definitely held on to that. Yeah, I mean, it stopped me from accelerating, but I feel like there's more valuable things to use that on, like the Desolators and whatnot. And plus, it would have kept his hand size a lot larger than it was. As you notice, he didn't have any card draw until the end of the game. He just prioritized the removal and a couple mechs. And as a result, if you just play all those cards every turn, your hand size is gonna run out. So that was a problem with his line of play. Not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying there was a flaw in how he went about his game plan. So let's look for another game, and hopefully we can do just as well. We are climbing. Yeah, matches will probably be a little bit longer since there's probably only maybe 10 people in Diamond. It is the start of the season, so let's see if we can hit that 111 average weight. All right, we are not the average player here. So deck's been working out okay. I guess I didn't need, despite playing Fae, I didn't need the Prophet. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have. But I don't think it was absolutely necessary. It could have killed my hand, and as I said, we have limited amounts of draw outside of the Sojourn and the Cantrip. So yeah, I think we're okay in that regard. Is anybody else on Diamond? Terrarius is ranked 2, so he's getting there. He's pretty close. Playing Magmar, probably maybe mid range. It's Lava Slashers and probably some Golems in there. Got a Prophet, which is not bad. I don't think we need it. I'll be honest. Like, yeah, it's nice to save myself 2 damage, but I don't think it's necessary. I do like the healing. The whip is nice as well, and we also have the cantrip, so I think that's okay. Got a second whip, a little bit early. I don't think we need 2 at the moment. Just going to plunk up our hand. So I think we'll just play the Cryptographer. Call it a turn. Again, I didn't want to keep the Prophet because I don't want to, play Prophet, Malice, Sphere of Darkness. I mean, I guess I'll have a reasonable hand size. We do have Variax in hand, so depending on whether we get a Darkfire sack or not. What is that? Healing Mystic, maybe? What dear do? Okay. We can clear that with a Sphere of Darkness. If he has like a Rage Binder or something. Greater Fortitude. I disagree with that play a lot. Yeah, I disagree. I think I'll just Sphere this first, right? Got a second one. That can be nice to have. Don't see myself playing Variax at this point in time. I think I'll just take the center, right? Take the center. I don't feel like punching this, do I? Go down to 23. I mean, maybe I will punch. Play Azure Herald Cryptographer. Is that a decent play? Excuse me, Azure Herald Malice. Or Prophet Malice. A little bit of a predicament here on what to play. Maybe I'll just play Prophet. Malice, hit this. Call that a turn. I do have the healing, so I don't mind hitting it. I value having the minion on board. Also blocks his path to this orb, so I mean, if he wants to come in and like try and hit me or whatever, he'll have to stand on this creep top. So yeah, not the worst thing in the world. We have a lot of healing, so we'll be okay. This EMP is going to be nice for dispelling Voth in a few turns, right? It also Voth can't really. It'll force him to use a Thumpening Wave, which will probably be the entire turn. And I doubt he will use a Thumpening Wave on this, so we can possibly get some good value out of this early Husk. Pretty cool looking design. Yeah. I feel like it can be a little bit bigger. But I mean, it's pretty big, but like I feel like it's it could be a little bit more muscular. But I guess it is like an undead beast thing, beast dog. I don't know. But I feel like it can be a little bit more muscular. Like the hind legs are really, really thin, in my opinion. Maybe that's just the angle. The front legs look decently muscular, but the hind legs are a little bit thin. Adamantine claws. You gonna hit me? Interesting. We have the healing, so maybe this can be nice in a few turns. I'd rather have the 2 Azure Heralds, to be quite honest. Guess he wants to play some hardball. So I will Husk. That one. Trade this one in. Play an Azure Herald right here. Play around Flash Mecanter a little bit. And the creep tile will ping off the last thing of that artifact, so I think we're pretty okay. Maybe trading in the just the cryptographer to get rid of the artifact would have been fine. I don't think we need another cryptographer, to be fair. It will be nice to get 4 damage in. Is he just gonna hit me? Healing Mystic, okay. And a young Sothar, that's fine. That's... I don't see the need for another cryptographer, I'll be honest. Huh. Oh, okay. We can play, like, an EMP right now, I'll be honest. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Play an EMP right here. Come down, hit this, and hit this, hit this. Call that a turn, so force him to have that a Thumpening Wave in hand. Prophet's nice. I don't think I need it at the moment. Yeah, I'll be saving myself 2 damage next turn. I mean, I guess I can play it, but that'll be a real hand killer. But I guess that's okay at this point in time. I'm gonna step onto the creep tile. Okay. But Mecantic. Silhouette Tracer. Okay, so probably a Drogon list. Just gonna move there and hit me. That's okay. I don't think this lure is... maybe it can be. I don't think the Nash is useful at this moment. I think I'll just play the Husk here. Maybe a Prophet here, right? Maybe I just want to block, right? Maybe I just want to block. Put it on this guy. And hit this. Might as well cash in here. Heal up a little bit. We're pretty low on cards, but I think we're in a pretty decent position. He has to run away. That Silhouette Tracer is pretty nice for him. Definitely going to throw away the Darkfire Sack. So we're both low on cards, but we obviously have the better board state and life count. So yeah, definitely a Drogon list, given the Adamantine Gauze and the Silhouette Tracer. I think we should be okay. These Husks should be able to pull us through. Overload. Okay. Maybe he might heal up with an Earth Sphere. That would make sense. Yep, thought so. Strong play from him, but I don't think that's going to do much for him. Ooh, we got Variax next turn, so I think we are in a pretty decent position, even though we're going to pass this turn. Mekantor won't wipe this board state out, which is fine. Maybe cashing in the 2 damage would have been better, but I don't think it'll matter too much. He would need, even with Mekantor Greater Fortitude, that won't clear the EMP. So, you can play Variax. Easily play Variax. Just start winning with Husks. Because if we do use Malice on this, we'll get all 8 Husks, assuming all the spaces are available. So no Mekantor, and he concedes. Nice. Not bad. Fortunately, we weren't able to get any of to feature Maev's awesome Bloodbound spell. We were able to activate it, but we never used. We never actually used it. We just won with Variax and EMP. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit greedy of a list. But yeah, break 4 and climbing. I don't know if I'll try and push for S rank. I have class today, so maybe I'll try and do it tonight. We'll see. Tomorrow, again, viewer submission decks. Again, what's your budget if you have one? What cards would you like to keep, and what would you like me to feature? That will be in the description. So yeah, happy Thirsty Thursday, guys, and I'll catch you guys later.